All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, folks. It's 2024, which feels so weird to say, but the Detroit Lions just finished the regular season at 12-5. They did not lose two consecutive games all freaking season. The Detroit Lions are in the playoffs, and they're 12-5. This is magnificent. I mean, this is a magnificent season. Dan Campbell, everybody top to bottom, management, fans, coaches, players, every single person involved this season. Hats off, respect to it. I cannot wait to see how the playoffs go. It looks, at the time of this recording, it looks like they're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Rams, but doesn't matter to me. The Detroit Lions are back in the playoffs, and folks, they won 12 freaking games. I mean, it just is beautiful. So welcome back to the channel. 30-20 home victory over the Minnesota Vikings this afternoon to officially eliminate them from the playoffs. I think they had like less than a 1% chance to make it anyways. A couple of unideal things. Sam Laporta going down with an injury. Khalif Raymond going down with an injury. Brian Branch went down with an injury. He did come back, thankfully. We'll deal with those injuries when they come, but I want to focus on the present. And the present is, once again, like, here's the thing, man, and this has been the reoccurring theme for me personally all season outside of, like a good amount of games. But here's the thing. When I watch the Detroit Lions play football and they have a quote-unquote bad game, it's not bad. Like, I watched this game today and I wasn't enamored. I wasn't blown away by, what Ben Johnson was cooking up, what Aaron Glenn was cooking up here. But they put up 30 points. Jared Goff threw for 320 yards. They didn't have a single turnover. And this is maybe bad game's the wrong way to phrase it, but like, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. And it just has me absolutely thrilled to just see what this team is about, not only for the playoffs, but for many years to come, folks. Like, bigger picture at stake here. I get it. You're going to get some naysayers. You're going to get some Vikings fans up in the comment section saying, wow, you gave up again. Nick Mullins, almost 400 passing yards, 396 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Nick Mullins. But here's the thing. I don't give a rat's ass because the Detroit Lions won the football game and they're in the freaking playoffs. So let's talk a little bit about tonight, or this afternoon's game before this. My cheeseheads, we play huge game against the Chicago Bears in about 10 minutes. So we'll keep it quick for you guys, and we'll cover the Lions up until the playoff matchup. Before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Lions fans, you guys have been with me all season, all last season. I appreciate you guys so much. I love the Detroit Lions, man. It's crazy. I just love the Detroit Lions. Now, if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. I can't wait to read your guys' comments as always. So let's look at the offense first. Jared Goff, 23 of 32, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Now, this was just like a really weird game because outside of the first quarter, and I guess the fourth quarter, I knew the Lions were the better team. We all know the Lions are the better team than the Minnesota Vikings at this point in time, but I didn't really feel it. And so you're going to get some people, you're going to get some critics out there saying Dan Campbell should have rested his starters. A lot's going to have to do with specifically Sam Laporta's injury. We'll talk about that later on in the video because that's detrimental, I will say it. But at the end of the day, man, it's football, and this is the way she goes. I don't really have an opinion on it. I get it from the player standpoint. I get it from the coach's standpoint. I would imagine if I was a coach on the Lions, I'd be a little bit worried, but at the same time, I have things I need to see. And I have things I need to see heading into the playoffs. And I think Dan Campbell got enough this afternoon. They only had the ball for 25 minutes as opposed to the Vikings 35 minutes. Third down conversions were despicable. It was actually disgusting. 1-9 third down efficiency. That does not work for me. It is what it is. But on a weird offensive day, they still put up 381 yards of offense. And like I said, they had 0 turnovers. And they also only had 4 penalties for 20 yards. And those are very important statistics, things to take note of while we head into playoff football, where every mistake is going to be potentially costly. So Jared Goff had a good game. The run game wasn't really there. A little bit weird, just in comparison to the Lions rushing game all season. But I will just say, and we've been saying it for like, honestly, at this point, probably 6 weeks. Ben Johnson is keeping his cards close to his chest here. He's not revealing much. Run game, 23 attempts, 70 yards. They did have 2 touchdowns, one to Gibbs, one to Montgomery. They only averaged 3 yards per carry. Keep in mind, the Minnesota Vikings defense, even though they are 7-9, they technically did have playoff hopes. Everybody is playing for contracts. People are playing for money. Like, this is a big deal to everybody on the field. But the run game was not getting going. But we have to keep in mind the Minnesota Vikings do have a good defense, and the Lions rushing attack was never a concern at any point in the entire 17-game regular season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he did get banged up a little bit, looked to be his rib cage, but he finished 7 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown. I still think, and like, people know Amon-Ra St. Brown's a star in this league. He finished the season with 112 catches for almost 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. I feel like people know he's a star wide receiver in this league, but I don't know if people like fully understand or appreciate, outside of Lions fans, obviously, the impact he has on these football games. I mean, the dude's a freaking star. He's a star. Khalif Raymond, 2 catches, 50 yards. Josh Reynolds, 5 catches, 44 yards. Like I said, Sam Laporta ended up going down with an injury. He did catch a touchdown pass. He had 5 catches for 29 yards. But Khalif Raymond and Sam Laporta both went down with injuries. Laporta's did not look great, but we'll deal with that when it comes. That's all I got to say with that. We'll deal with that as it comes. I definitely don't have anything against Dan Campbell for playing his starters, because I get it, man. You got to do what you got to do. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the trade deadline acquisition, 2 catches, 25 yards. Jameson Williams didn't play this afternoon, which was unfortunate, but he was getting going the last couple of weeks prior to not playing today. Let's talk about the defense. So the defense really stepped up this afternoon, which sounds weird to say because Nick Mullins had 396 yards of passing. But their defense did what they needed to do. And I just genuinely feel like the defense keeps doing what they need to do. And if I have like a not my best offensive performance and I put up 30 points and my defense is only allowing 20 points, you can throw for 822 yards against me. I don't give a rat's ass. If you're only scoring 20 points against the Detroit Lions, you're going to lose the damn football game. So Cameron Sutton had an interception on a beautiful blitz. CJ Gardner-Johnson, welcome back, man. Welcome back, CJ Gardner-Johnson, getting one last game in here, comes back healthy, plays week 18, and it's just great to have him back. The game was pretty much clinched at that point, but he had the game-clinching interception there. Alex Anzalone continues to do his thing. The dude's also severely underappreciated in the grand scheme of things. But we've got to shout out my man Jack Campbell, 12 total tackles and a sack. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, 2 sacks. I think he's got now 5 sacks in his last 2 games. The Detroit Lions defense had 4 total sacks. They had 2 interceptions, and they only gave up 20 points. So there's no complaints from me. That is it for today. I got to watch this Packers-Bears game, guys. We're going to talk more. We're going to talk a ton of Lions this upcoming week, so stay tuned. But Lions fans especially, how are you guys feeling about your season? 12-5, baby. You're in the freaking playoffs. Let's go, man. Let me know what you're thinking. How far are you guys going this season? Let me know down below. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time. Peace.